Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And as I said again, we're experiencing a little line problems in here, so won't be able to have our normal co-host on the line with us, Dave Gabbard and Gene Smith. We did get to talk to Dave in that first segment, and I kind of teased you guys out there, whether you're in Jackson or Brownsville or North Mississippi or East Arkansas, wherever you might be, that we're going to talk a little stories right now. And you know I like a good story, and I like to read a good story because I am a nonfiction person. So I'm assuming these stories are true. Okay? I'm assuming. I know the gentleman on the line is known to a lot of you folks out there who have been following his career and know about his love of the outdoors and particularly firearms and things along that line. But we're happy to have on Outdoors with Larry Ray Richard Mann, the author of Under Orion, More Hunting Stories from Appalachia to Africa, in Volume 2. Good morning, Richard.
Morning, Larry. How are you?
I'm doing great. What made you do it a second time, man? I looked up the first one. Of course, I'm going to save this one because it's got your name on there. And what made you want to do it again?
Well, to me, the big part of hunting, there's like I've told this before. There's like three phases of hunting. You've got the preparation and the execution, and then the recollection. And
yes.
to me, the biggest part of hunting is probably the recollection, sitting around a campfire telling stories. And, when I was a little kid, I grew up around a campfire at hunting camp, listening to my grandfather, my father, and my mom all tell hunting stories. And I guess it's just something that's in me, and it's got to get out.
Well, you've got it out, and when I look at things, and I noticed right off he dedicated the book to his late father, which undoubtedly the relationship there is where it started. Then on the cover, he's got a photograph of his son, and then you jump right into some of the titles for the different things in here. And I have to admit, Richard, anytime I get a book and it's got the names of the titles, I may not read them in the right order. Okay?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. But tell about putting this thing together, because it had to be fun. You're almost like sitting down and just remembering things that happened in your lifetime and putting them into print. Was this more difficult than the first one, or did this kind of roll out?
Well, in all honesty, some of these stories have been published in various magazines.
Yes, they have.
That I've written for.
Yes.
And then about half of them are stuff that I did just for the book. But it's hard to answer. I don't think any of them was hard, except for the one about my son and his buffalo hunt.
Yes.
I had a lot of trouble writing that, and it took me about 3 years to even try.
Really? Okay. And that's what it's called, A Boy and a Buffalo. And I haven't counted up how many chapters here, but folks, the man has a way with words, and I think that he's not holding anything back, guys, gals out there. If you're listening to this and you want to hear a good story or read a good story, let me just touch on a few of the chapters and see if this doesn't whet your appetite. How about turkey hunting is stupid? That's page 43. I marked that one down, okay?
How about it is stupid.
Yeah, how about, we're going to come back now. Hold on now. We're getting ready to have a season. How about the 30-06 sucks, okay? All right? And how about no sheep for old men? I like that, And then you get down here and what I'd give, and you list the best gun outdoor riders. Now, let's start with turkey hunting being stupid, since it's getting ready to start in the Mid-South. Tell our listeners, why is that chapter titled that?
Well, I think mostly because turkey hunting is stupid.
Okay.
I mean, and the first part of the story there, you'll get up before daylight.
Yes, you will.
You'll get out of your truck, blow your owl hoot.
Yes,
the turkey will gobble 10 miles away, and you'll start walking. And about the time you get there, he gobbles back at the truck.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not a turkey hunter. I've done a little bit of it. I'm not a shotgun guy either. So, fortunately, here in West Virginia, you can shoot a turkey with anything you want. And I've done it a little bit with muzzleloaders and archery and handguns. But it's kind of stupid, the fanaticism associated with it to me.
Well, it's a big business, you know. I mean,
oh Lord,
that's a big business. And when I was reading that chapter, I don't know why I kept coming back to this, but I was thinking of Glenn Campbell shooting that turkey in True Grit with his rifle. You know,
yeah.
and it just came back to me. I said, that's it. And then I thought about Sergeant York shooting the head off that turkey. You know, so
well, and you know what the worst part about turkey hunting is if you actually kill one.
That's
because then you got to get all the feathers off of it.
Oh, our truck drivers going down Interstate 55 are already pulled over now. So, and we're not through with that. I mean, when I go down through these, what was the best gun outdoor riders? I mean, you hit some. You told. This all came from you, I can tell you, because you told why. You told why the best pistol shot. You told why the best storytellers. And there's some really idle people in here. I love the picture of that you put up here of Melvin Forbes and David Petzl.
Dave Petzl, yeah.
Yeah, that sets me back a lot of years. And of course, the story with Chris Ellis. I mean, so
yeah.
Was this a fun chapter to write? Have you written this before? I mean,
no, and I'll tell you why I wrote that. When I was, I didn't start writing professionally until about the year 2000, a little before that, maybe 1998. And I was already a man. You know, I wasn't a kid anymore, and I always wanted to write for the outdoors. And you read a lot of these writers.
Yes.
But you don't really know anything about them. You know, you don't know, you've never met them, you don't know anything about them. And I got to meet all of the writers, all of the big name writers.
Yes.
And I found out some of them, the only thing they really had was a big name. Some of them couldn't shoot, some of them couldn't write.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And
you know, so I thought some readers ought to deserve to know who the real deal people are.
So has this been out now? I mean, is the book out and available? And have you got any feedback from probably some of my friends in the outdoor writing industry? What's
it just has came out on Amazon. You
okay.
can buy it
on Amazon.
Amazon.com.
Okay, yeah.
And I sold about 100 signed copies through my website, but that's all I'm selling through there.
Well, you're going to sell
some more. So if anybody
some more.
wants it, it's direct on Amazon. I think it's $14.99. I think is what it's selling for.
Less than $15, and when I got down to the Sheriff Jim Wilson, a man not to be trifled with. Folks, this is really a fun book. I'm just telling you, you don't have to sit down, and Richard, I don't know if that's the way you meant it, you don't have to sit down and just read it straight through. I just felt like it was one of those things, hey, let me read the chapters I like best and things like that. So you've already, I'm not going to say the word, but you've already set some tone for some of the best storytellers that I've ever written to and everything like that. But name your favorite chapters. You've already said A Boy and a Buffalo. You might tell that story to our folks out there for kind of set the tone on that. Hardest one for you to write.
Yeah, so you a big part of being a man and a father is raising a son, and at some point you have to think that there's a rite of passage, or when you can step back and say, yeah, this boy's a man now.
Yes. Yeah.
And we had been to Africa a couple years, and the third time he went, he wanted to try buffalo, and he did it so exceptionally well that it made me feel kind of old, I guess.
Well,
and it was just a touching moment, and it's and I say in the story, it's not a story you can write. It's not even a story me and him tell each other or remember. It's
right.
It's something that happened, and it happened between me and him, and maybe honestly that's the way it should have stayed. I don't know.
No. It adds a lot to it in the photograph of your son. I'm assuming you took that photograph on the cover, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
That's a pretty tribute there for your son and the animal that he had just taken down. And when I go through these things, is that what's your favorite?
Man, it's hard to say. It really is. All of those things are included because they were important to me. Some of them, like the 30-06 sucks or the turkey hunt. Some of that's for, I guess you'd say, entertainment value, but a lot of those stories, very personal and means something to me. And I don't know that I could name a favorite.
Well, I tell you what, again, we're talking to Richard Mann, the author of Under Orion Volume 2, More Hunting Stories from Appalachia to Africa. You can go to empty-cases.com. Is that right,
Yep,
Richard?
Yep.
Yeah, you can go to that. And Richard's out of Princeton, West Virginia. Myself, I really liked I Killed a Bear with a Knife. I didn't even have to read it to know I want to read it. So that is one of them. But, hey, folks, it's if you're looking for a great gift right now, listen to these guys that's on the back. If these guys are going to talk about it, it's got to be good. How about Craig Boddington? How about Ron Spooner, my good friend, Sheriff Jim Wilson, and, of course, legendary Jim Zumbo, my good friend T.J. Hauptman. I don't know if, Richard, you had a chance to read her book about Jim Zumbo.
No,
It's a wonderful book. She really steps into all of Jim's stuff. All these guys have spoken out on the back about it. Again, tell them how they can get one of these things, Richard.
Yeah, Amazon.com is the easiest way to get it. And if you're a Prime member, they'll have it to you in 2 days. And you asked me about how I set the book up. It's best set up to just leave it next to the toilet.
I didn't want
because every story is about the same amount of time it takes you on the toilet. And if you don't like it, you got free paper right there with you.
Richard, do something else. That just probably solidified. That may be book number 3 coming up. So we may have that. Hey, buddy, thank you for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll stay in touch, and hope you have a great day, okay?
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me on, sir.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry. We'll be right back.